Today we're diving into the world of DC and trying extremely hard to stay neutral as we talk about Zachary Levi's comments on losing our Superman and Black Adam. Of course, as you can understand, we make no promises on that. And with his comments, we'll also talk about what this means for the future of the franchise. What exactly does James Gunn have up his sleeve? So if you're ready, let's get into it. First up, Levi's advice to fans: take a breath. Guys, trust us. He didn't say it to be rude, but wow, when the DCU fans are reacting to the studios like they currently are, it makes sense that he's asking for some peace. Though, if you were out of the loop recently, Shazam! Zachary Levi, star of Fury of the Gods, talked about the very uncertain future of the DC on his Insta. The man's just trying to shed some light that there isn't a complete disconnect between what the cast wants and the magnificent decisions the new execs have made. We know. Just hear him out. See, despite all of the recent DC backlash, Levi's at least willing to address the issues in depth. And we'll certainly give him credit for that courage, cause, fans aren't happy. But for everyone's sake, before getting into specifics, the actor asked fans to take a breather when it came to these potential stories. And then, he went into how it's also difficult for him to say goodbye to his co-stars because he was genuinely excited to work with them. At least in that case, we know everyone agrees with that statement. Seriously, we somehow waited years for our clown noses to be put back on, and this time by the studio itself. Still, Levi seems to be asking fans to accept that right now, these characters' meetup is just not gonna happen. Instead, asking everyone to look to the future. We know, but for our sake, breathe. Next up, James Gunn still knows what he's doing. Or as Levi has said, you are of course invited to keep your thoughts until something good happens. But fans right now are pissed because they could see the potential movies with Shazam and Black Adam. Though, if you didn't know, these two have a long history in the comics, and so many of us were on the edge of our seats waiting for them to clash in upcoming projects. And especially after the post-credit scene in Black Adam, they were dangling the carrot in front of us that a big fight was coming soon, which was swiftly taken away. Right, remember when we said we'll be neutral? Yeah, scratch that. Still, it's not like Levi didn't share the same hopes. But the man also has more belief in Gunn and Safran's vision than a lot of us currently. He even went as far as to ask the fandom, will you believe in us? Whatever is still out there, all riled up and irritated, trust that James is so neutral, which, if that's still the case, then why on earth couldn't we just have the actors that are already passionate about their characters? Especially when you're losing the Superman of our generation. Come on, we can all understand why it's a teensy bit difficult to move past that, right? Yet, Zachary asked the fandom to stick with them and give Gunn a chance, which it doesn't look like this universe has a lot of those left, but that's just our opinion. Following that, the future of the DCEU will be better. Truly, Levi's optimism is either inspiring for you or insanely annoying. Take your pick. We're gonna try giving the man's hope a chance. So, of course, the actor went on to say that the future of DC will be better than okay, which is more than most of us are hoping at this point. But we do get it. He wants fans to respect Gunn and Safran's choices, keeping in mind their previous work and enthusiasm we'd all been insane for. Look, if we're all honest, he's right for saying that. No one wakes up on a random day and completely reinvents what they're passionate about. Well, most people don't. So we can only hope that Levi's trust can be backed up with something that's still true to what so many fans have hung on to, with the roller coaster that is the DCU. Cause if not, well, many of us have already reached the end of our patience with Cavill's exit. And that's just a fact. But if we're going by Levi's hope, then what storylines can the creators introduce now that they've axed the sequels we were anticipating? First up, do we cast a new Superman now? Or are the OG superheroes just going to the Hall of Fame, only to be mentioned with cameos? And how does the Flash fit into anything now? Guys, the amount of time we've spent trying to make theories from just that film is insane. But now, anything could happen. Maybe that's good. Up next, Zachary's take on the hate DC heads are getting. Look, you should know the full picture of why this man seems to be in full support of these controversial decisions, especially when it's not even the ideal situation for him. See, he's stated again and again that he knows the people in charge, they're friends, and he's been rooting for Gunn's career for years, and vice versa. So of course he's gonna ask people to chill, and be a bit more strict on that when those people are the type that just don't like him. Honestly, the fandom's uncertainty is perfectly valid. There's a lot of change happening and some parts were just not what we were promised. But But this change in management was one we did wait for such a long time. So now, people turning their backs without a second thought, that's gonna hurt even the creators, right? See, everyone can have their own opinion, but we do think that the universe can survive and even grow without Cavill and Johnson's presence, at least for now. And guys, that's still on the table. All we're told right now is that this phase doesn't need Henry's Superman or Dwayne's Black Adam. Now, does that suck? Yes. But does it mean they're gone forever? No. Levi's addressed the more harsh rumors and said many of those claims are simply false or are based on wrong assumptions. We're still playing a waiting game right now. There's gonna be changes, but maybe we should till a single movie comes out. Let's talk about whether Levi's coming back. Well, this is kind of an ironic part to talk about, cause even though Zachary seems optimistic about DCEU's future, that doesn't confirm his return to the lead role as Shazam, especially since many actors in the DCEU have already been informed that their time playing their iconic characters is gonna come to an end. Even if we continue to argue, that's not what we want. It is what it is. And honestly, following the release of Shazam, it's uncertain what is Levi's future in this universe. Sure, Fury of the Gods is a safe bet. What about after that? See, if Gunn and Safran were planning to keep any of the main DCEU heroes, Levi's Shazam might be the most logical choice, simply because he hasn't interacted with any of the other characters, well, not that clearly, which means he could still be part of this clean slate that the creators are going for. Again, insanely annoying for some of us, but for those that can focus on Shazam, a crumb of legit hope. Still, with that said, if Henry's exit is an example, then it might not be long until Levi's time is up as well, and that just means there's more chance for the Flash to introduce different variants of these characters, which would give a true reason why we've lost so many iconic actors. But do you think they could pull that off? Especially if Shazam 2 doesn't wrap up in a satisfying bow. Coming up, what do we know about DC's future right now? Now that we've talked about the insane number of uncertain futures in this universe, let's remind you what we can still anticipate. We'll kick off with The Flash, set to release in the summer of 2023. It'll see the return of Ezra Miller as the title character. Yes, even with their bingo card of controversies. Cause this film is expected to be a key step for the DCEU, and it becomes more special when this movie might be the last time we see a Superman and Wonder Woman cameo. Though that may have been scrapped cause of, reasons we've talked enough about. But aside from these films, the DCU has announced many other projects in the works, including a Superman remake. Again, we know, but we're gonna remain calm, for once, about this. Especially since we may also be getting a Green Lantern core film. That's certainly not something we'd expected to say in this year and age, but alright. Now, though these films have no confirmed release dates, they do hint at the expanding universe that looks like it's gonna be built from the ground up. And that makes us question how many fans are gonna stick around for that. Lastly, can the execs manage fans' expectations? Or even try to do so? They honestly may have a chance to do so. See, Gunn is known for being open and candid with his social media followers, and that can be a useful way for them to manage expectations and keep fans updated on the film's progress. Well, after everyone's calmed down just a tiny bit more, people are more willing to listen. The duo can also manage fan expectations by keeping the larger DCEU universe in mind, unlike some of the last films we've seen. It'd be nice to know the bigger picture is still gonna turn out with an ending in mind. That's not too much to ask for, right? Even if most of the major films are now standalone stories, they're still part of a larger, already written plot. And we're certainly not alone when we say, for once, just stick to the comics. Please. We know the stories, we love the characters, and everyone has a part to play that's already given. Follow it. And then they can add their spin. No? Whether or not they're gonna listen to that, we'll have to wait and see. That's a wrap for this video. Let us know what you think about Levi's reaction to Cavill's and Johnson's exit. Do you agree with his request for fans to calm down? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.